Namaskar. My name is Manish Kumar and I welcome all of you to my channel. You have read it right. I am going to talk about the slowest data engineering roadmap because as a data engineer, we have to do a lot of things and it is going to take time. So I don't know any magical pills or magical roadmap which I can tell you to get a job within 30 days or 60 days or even a 90 days if you are starting from scratch. So that is why the topic name is today's slowest data engineering roadmap 2026. So without further delay, we will go to the laptop screen. We will first discuss about all the frequently asked questions that I had faced in my when I was shooting this video in last year. So now I am going to talk about first FAQs, and then after that I will talk about the technology and where you have to learn, how you have to learn, and how much you have to learn, what all topics you don't have to learn. Those things I am going to discuss in today's video. So without further delay, let's jump to the laptop screen and discuss everything in detail. Alright, so I am at laptop screen and you can see today we are going to talk about data engineering roadmap. But yes, this is going to be the slowest one and I'll discuss and I'll explain why this is the slowest one, right? But it will be worth it. That is for sure. So these are the few questions that was asked to me when I saw the video last year. So first thing is how much time it will take to prepare. So I would say minimum you would require 6 months to do the roadmap that I am going to talk about in a moment. So minimum if you have 6 months, then only you will be able to complete it. And when I'm considering 6 months, it is for the one who is starting from scratch, right? So the next question comes from there only, who is this for? Of course, this cannot be for everyone, right? So this is for any existing data engineer. So if you are already a data engineer and you want to know more about what all things are expected in the market right now, that is where you can follow the roadmap. I have talked about roadmap 2 to 4 years and 5+ years of experience, both. So both has a different expectation. I have talked in detail about what is expected when you have 2 to 4 years of experience and what is expected you have 5+ years of experience. Also, anyone who wants to switch to data engineer. Okay. So last time when I saw the video, everyone was asking like, I have 6 years of experience. Can I do that? I have 10 years of experience in a data analyst or DBA or DevOps or any other role. Even I am in non-IT. Can I switch to data engineering? So the short answer is yes, and it is for everyone. If you have accumulated the required tech stack, you can switch to data engineering. So I'm not going to discuss everything like I have 6 year or 7 year. Everyone can switch to data engineering if you have the required knowledge. Now, who is this not for? So basically this is not for the one who is already following another roadmap. Okay. Following another roadmap, because everyone is going to tell you more or less same kind of thing. But what people does, like the over smart people, what they will do, they will come to my channel, they will go to some other channel as well, and they will see, okay, he left few topics and he added few topics. So what I'll do, I'll add all those topics, so I'll be more valuable in the market. But you are doing the wrong way, because as a data engineer there are hundreds of things that everyone cannot do, right? That is why every data engineer roadmap you will have a little bit of different few tech stack here and there not added. So don't be over smart, just focus one roadmap whichever you are following. So if you are following any other roadmap, you can skip it from here, you don't need to watch the video. Okay. Or this is not also for anyone who is doing already enrolled in any course. Okay. So if you are already enrolled in any course, please so please follow the instructor whoever you are following. You don't need to again go here and there, watch the roadmap or follow the another courses. So basically it's a simple, be focused, whatever you are learning or whatever you are already doing, just keep doing it. Okay. What about fresher? So last year when I saw the video, I did not talk about fresher. So a lot of freshers was asking, what should we do? How can we get into our data engineering field? So wait for some time, because I have answered this question in detail. Then next, should I buy courses like Sumit Mittal, Deepak Goyal, Sasank Misra, Darsil Parmar, Sagar Prajapati? There are hundreds of names I have just added just I have added few names because these are the prominent one which every day someone is asking about these courses. So see, buying a courses is not a bad thing at all. If you are a person who is more prefer doing in a course manner, like where everything is bundled at one place and you just want to follow it, so there is no wrong doing in this case. You can go buy any courses that you like, but yes, just remember one thing, that if someone is asking you 20 to 30,000 INR, Indian rupees, if they are charging you more than 20 to 30,000, then I think you should reconsider buying that course, because in the market you can easily get for 20 to 30,000, and if you follow my roadmap, it is going to just cost you around 2 to 2.5k. Okay, this much only it is going to cost you. So it depends, but again, just don't buy over expensive courses like Scalar. They charge for I think lakhs and lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, but that's not worth it. Like 2 lakh rupees is not worth it to buy a course for a data engineering or any engineering courses, I would say, either software or any. It is not required at all, I would say. Okay. What about certification? So see, certification, if you are already into data engineering field, then mostly, and if you are going to service based organization, then in that case it helps a little bit, because service based organization has to showcase to the client, to their client, that I have these many certified developer. That is where they showcase. So in, I would say, in simple terms, if you are focusing in terms of HR, like getting a call, then it will help you a little bit. But if you are thinking that in interview it is going to help, then you are wrong, because in interview, interviewer is not going to get impressed that you have done 5, 10, 2, 3, any number of certifications. He is not going to give you much much weightage when it comes to certification. So for, in a simple term, for HR or getting call, yes, it matters a little bit, and in interview, no, it does not matter. Okay. And also, if you want to do the certification, then try to get the reimbursement from organization. If organization is not giving you the reimbursement, then I don't think you should invest 10,000 or 15,000 rupees to just get a course, get a certificate. Okay. Then should I use AI tools? I would highly encourage, and I would say again, that you should not use any AI tools while learning. Okay, so since we are at learning phase, we don't have to, or we should not use any AI tools. It's okay to fail for a day by not getting the answer, but not going to the chat GPT or any other AI tools to get the answer very in few minutes, or yeah, in few minutes, right, in few seconds as well. Rather, I would say just go to Stack Overflow, go to GitHub, go to any other blog post, and try to understand why your code is not working or what all issues you are facing. By the time you'll get the answer, you'll have a lot of more learnings about how things are working. So these AI tools are doing a brain rot for sure. Your critical thinking will die very soon if you are only solely focusing on AI tools to prepare your data engineering interview, or in general you are learning anything new. Don't just blindly go and learn through AI tools. Of course, it will save your time, but it will kill your critical thinking. So no AI tools at all. How to prepare in 2 months? I don't know. I don't know how you can prepare in 2 months. If you are at different level, then of course you just have to revise the concepts, like you already know Python, SQL, Spark, Cloud. So you just have to do the revision. In that case, you can do it in 2 months. But if you are starting from scratch, I don't know how can you do these things in 2 months. Next, like at least I don't know. There are many roadmaps you can follow for fastest, because here we are not focusing on luck. We are focusing on hard work, and we are focusing that I want to get selected every other time. So I am giving interview for 10 companies. I should get selected for minimum 6 to 7 companies. Then this kind of hack for 2 months or 1 month is definitely not going to work if you are starting from scratch. Again, every time I'm saying starting from scratch, because if someone is already skilled, then they can do it in 2 months. But if someone is not, then they should invest a little more time, which is around 6 to 7 months. Can I become data engineer with Snowflake? Okay, these kind of questions are very much asked on my topmate. Like there are people who book the topmate session and then come to me saying that, okay, I know SQL because I have been working with SQL. What I'll do, I'll go to learn Snowflake and I will become Snowflake developer. Yes, you can become, you may get 1 or 2 jobs somewhere here and there, but again after few years you will be in same situation. So better to prepare today than rather crying after 2 years or 3 years or down the line. Okay. Can I do ADF plus Databricks and then become data engineer? This is also a very prevalent question which was being asked on my topmate session. See, ADF and Databricks, if you see Databricks internally use Spark, SQL, Python, but they don't come with those intention that I am learning Python, SQL, Spark in detail and then I'm just saying ADF plus Databricks. No, they are like, okay, I'll prepare for ADF and Databricks bare minimum. I'll get selected. After 6 months, I'll learn in the project or during the in the company basically, and then I'll make a switch or I'll become I'll become a better engineer. So see, you are fooling yourself if you are doing these kind of things. You have to be good at fundamentals. There is no other choice. If you want to be a data engineer, you have to be a good you have to be good at fundamentals, and not just a data engineer. Any engineer you want to become, you should have a good fundamental understanding. And by saying just I'll learn this tool or that tool, it will help. Of course it will help you to get your 1 or 2 company, but if you want to be confident from inside, no, you cannot be because at that time you know that you are making fool of yourself, not to anyone else outside, right? Yeah, of course you made it once or twice, but internally you know what is going on. I saw there are few courses which say I have hundreds hour of content, but hundreds hour of content is not going to get you selected. 100 plus hours of practice can. Okay. So simply I would say no practice, no selection. Just remember this, keep this in mind every time. Remember this, that no practice, no selection. Simple. You are doing 500 hour of course, that will be a wastage if you are not practicing it. So no practice, no selection, simple. What about system design? I have already uploaded one of my video in my second channel, which is in Hindi. I think you can get it converted in English, like change the audio track in English and then just watch that video. That video already itself is about 50 minutes. So I'm not going to explain anything about system design because that has a lot of possibility. And these are mostly asked for 5+ years of experience engineers. How much money I need to spend if I follow this roadmap? 2 to 2.5K, which I already talked about. How much time to dedicate on each tech stack and how to revise? So for how to revise, I am answering this, and how much time dedicate, I will talk at last. Like I am going to give you some 6 to 7 tech stack and I'll tell you exactly how many days or how many months or how many weeks you have to do this. Like I'll tell you the order, in which order it has to be done, so that you can get maximum benefit out of it with respect to time. Okay, practice you will have to only do. So how much time to decide? Yeah, how to revise? So for revision, you will have to make your own notes. So let's say you are watching this video may be 1 hour long, right? And if you make your own notes, you can revise those notes in less than 10 minutes. So you are going to save 90% of the time if you are making notes. If you are not making notes, again you will have to rewatch this video and waste your 1 hour. So that's why I'm going to say every time you'll have to make your notes. And here the last question was, can you share these notes? Of course I'm not going to share you these notes. I am not going to share any notes. I will share you the link in description, whichever course will be required or whichever YouTube channel will be required. I'm not going to share you any notes that I'm going to discuss here. And how to remember all things that I studied, that comes from revision. And I'll talk about revision also at last when I'll be talking about how to study. In that case, I'll talk about the revision part as well. Of course, one revision will comes from notes and you can do it very fast. Apart from that also, I'll talk about the more revision, how can you do along with your preparation. Okay, so this was all. Now I'll talk about the freshers as a D, how fresher can get into data engineering. So I have written some tech stack that would be required if you are get into data engineering as a freshers. Okay, so see here, Python is required. It is very much required, and also for a freshers you will have to do pandas library. But if you are experienced, then you don't need to. So as a fresher, you should do pandas library as well. I'll tell you why in a moment. Then SQL you'll have to do. Then you'll have to do a basics of Spark. I'm not saying everything you'll have to know, but you'll have to do basics of Spark, how distributed computing works. You will have to know about fast API, how to use API, how to build a little bit small APIs. Okay. Then also you'll have to do Excel, Power BI or Tableau. If you ask me, then I would suggest Power BI. And then cloud basics, either AWS or Azure. But if you ask me, I would still prefer AWS because AWS has more versatility. Azure are mostly utilized when it comes to data engineering one. This is what I have seen being utilized in the industry. Now, why this tech stack is required as a data engineer or as a fresher to get into data engineering, now I am going to explain you. So see, in data engineering, there are very few openings for a freshers role, very few openings. So as a freshers, what you can do, you can prepare for, at the same time you can prepare for 2 to 3 roles, generic roles, so that if not data engineering right now, you can get into data analyst or backend developer, and then later some point in time when you get experience, because mostly as a data engineer, industry has for 3+ years of experience. So you'll have to wait for some time. If you get a data engineering role at the starting itself, that's good. But if you don't, you are not behind. You'll just have to wait for some more time, like another year or 2, and then you can switch to data engineering. Now I am going to tell you why this roadmap is given here, because if you see Python, SQL and fast API will give you edge when you want to be a Python developer. So these 3 will help you to crack Python developer job. Okay, Python developer only backend, not the front end one, because for front end you will need a JavaScript. Okay, this is the first thing that you can do. Python, SQL and fast API, these 3 are required to get job as a Python developer. So you are not just focusing on one role, you are focusing on multiple roles. So whenever you are getting opportunity, anywhere you are getting opportunity, just get into that job and then later point in time switch to data engineering. Don't be rigid that I will be only data engineer, not anything else. Okay, if I talk about Python, SQL, Spark and fast API, then it becomes a and also a little bit of cloud basics, then you become a data engineer. Okay, and at last, if you choose Excel, you choose Power BI and you choose SQL, a little bit of Python plus pandas, here pandas will come into the picture. So if you do these things, then you will become data analyst or business intelligence or business analyst. So you are focusing on 3 roles at a time if you are following this tech stack. Now, how much to study all of this? So I would suggest, I am going to talk about 2 to 4 years of experience section, and you just have to do maximum like up to 2 to 4 years, but you can, even if you do less than that, you will get selected as a fresher. So whichever things you think, okay, this is enough for me, like SQL, right? So I'm going to say SQL, everything you have to do as a 2 to 4 years of experience. But when you are doing as a junior role, so you can do till join or medium level question. That should be more than sufficient to crack any freshers role as a SQL as a data analyst or anything in terms of SQL, right? So this is what my thinking is. If you want to get into data engineering, there is no like there is very few openings, so you'll have to do some tweak in your tech stack so that you are open for multiple position at a time. And then once you get selected in any of the data role or any development role, then later you can switch to data engineering. Okay, now I'll talk about tech stack for experience, and from here everything will be for experience, and for freshers you just have to watch the specific section. Okay, now for this one, these are the four core fundamentals. So if I say fundamentals, of course cloud comes in a tool as well, but I would still consider fundamental for data engineering. At least those are tools, but still comes under fundamental part. See, first and foremost thing, you should do Python. Although you can do Java as well if you are from Java background, but mostly nowadays job requires Python. So even if you know Java, I would still prefer Python, that you should learn Python at least syntactically you should learn, and then later everything you can do. Pandas we don't require as a data engineer. If in organization, if they are asking that I need pandas as well, you can say we have a like huge volume of data, pandas cannot process it, that's why we are using PySpark. But if in your organization data volume is less, you need pandas, I can learn pandas without any issue. Okay, so this is how you will have to take them in confidence and you will be good. Next thing up is SQL. Then the next one is Spark plus Databricks. Initially it was just a Spark, but now Databricks as a tool, it is being used heavily in the industry. So that is why now we have to learn Databricks tool as well, and plus a Spark. Then cloud. In cloud there are three cloud. Either you can do AWS or you can do Azure. I would still not prefer to go with GCP because there are very less demand. But if you are already into GCP field, then you can go ahead because there are less demand and less supply as well. So you can do, but if you are starting from fresh, I would still go ahead with AWS or Azure. And in this two also, I would still go ahead with Azure because Azure has more good resources than AWS. Okay. After doing all these four, we have to do project first and then move to another section. Then the next one is warehousing. After that, CI/CD and orchestration. These three are the I would say a required one when it comes to deployment, and like CI/CD, like warehousing is still a good amount of things to do, but CI/CD and orchestration are just to run your pipeline on a specific time and how to push your code into production environment. That is where CI/CD will be required. So these three will also be required, but this is going to take less amount of time, and it can be done very easily. Now these two things, streaming and system design, if you are moving from, or if you are switching into data engineering field, then I would say to avoid this streaming, because if you go to streaming, Kafka and Spark streaming both will come into the picture, and then number of technology will increase more and more, and then also scenario based question, and there are many more things that you will have to do. You will have to do the project as well. So there are many things that will come into the picture if you are adding streaming. So I would say avoid if you have 2 to 4 years of experience, and mostly if you are switching, then this is the right spot to switch into data engineering as a 2 to 4 years of experience. System design, again, if you are already in data engineering and you are having more than 5+ years of experience, then you will have to do both system design plus Spark streaming. I have already talked about system design in detail, how you can get prepared, so you can watch that video. That is, I think, already 15-minute long. I'll just give you the link in description about my system design video, which will be in Hindi, so you'll have to change the audio. Now I'm going to talk about each tech stack in detail, how it has to be done, where it has to be done, how much time it is going to take, and what not to study. Okay, so all those things I am going to discuss now. So see, in Python, you will have to first do the syntax. And if you are skipping this, if you want to skip this, or you are skipping this, or you are scared of programming, then data engineering is not for you. It's as simple as that. Either do programming or leave data engineering. There are no other options. So I would say, okay, now back to the discussion. So if you are having 2 to 4 years of experience, syntax will be required. You can follow Telesco channel, or there was one another channel programming with Mosh, I think something like that, MOSH. You can follow that channel as well. I'll show you the video. I have also uploaded the Python playlist, but that is in Hindi. Again, you'll have to convert the audio to English. If you want to go through my channel, then that is also a possibility, but that is in Hindi, and the channel is Manish Kumar, not Manish Kumar 2.0. You are watching in Manish Kumar 2.0. Then the next thing is DSA or coding. You will have to do DSA. For DSA, you can follow Gigs for Gigs initially, or if you think that I am still not capable of solving gigs for gig question, then you can go to HackerRank, and at last you are going to solve the question at LeetCode. Okay, then there is a good blog post on gigs for gigs about top 50 Python programming question, because sometimes we just skip a few topics like what is shallow copy, deep copy, what is scope in Python, what is a decorator. So these kind of questions will be asked in interview. So that is where this 50 list of questions will get you prepared about the theoretical question that will be asked in the interview. Then platform to practice, I have already talked about gigs for gigs, HackerRank and LeetCode. First you will start with HackerRank, then you will go to gigs for gigs, and at last you will go to LeetCode. Only you should do easy level question. Okay, if you are being focused on service based, if you are focusing on product company as well, then in that case medium level question will also be asked. Okay, then for 5+ years of experience, whatever 2 to 4 years of experience people are doing, you will have to do all, plus you should have a concrete knowledge of object oriented programming. Now people will be asking about object oriented programming, they will be asking you about the low level code design. So that is where design pattern will also come into the picture, and we have total 23 design pattern, which is called gangs of 4, but we don't need to do all. We need to just do like factory, right? We need to do facade, we need to do strategy, we need to do decorator. So these kind of only 5 to 6 which are commonly used design pattern are there, only those has to be done. Also remember the UML diagram that is discussed in this design pattern. So gangs of 4 book you can follow, or you can follow the any blog post that will be talking about this. So that is fine for design pattern. Like you just have to go through and understand the things, because if you are good at object oriented programming, design pattern will make sense. If you are not good at object oriented, then design pattern will be a little more tricky. Then what about coding? So in coding, always you will be asked medium level question. You can forget that now anyone is going to ask you about the easy level question. And sorry, I forgot one thing. I said DSA coding, but in this DSA there are a lot of topics which has to be discussed. But for us as a data engineer, we need string plus array when it comes to 2 to 4 years of experience. And if you are having more than 2 to 4 years of experience, then you can talk about optimizing your code as well, because if you are writing brute force solution, then they will ask you to optimize your code, and that is where like techniques like two pointer, sliding window, right, binary search, those topic will come handy. Apart from that, as a 5+ years of experience, you will have to do stack and queue as well. Okay, no non-linear data structure like tree, graph, DP, they are not going to ask you. Maybe, I'm saying maybe they can ask you some recursion question, but not more than that. String and array for 2 to 4 years of experience. So I hope this part is clear. Now I'll show you where exactly has to be done, like what is this Telesco channel, then MOSH, then how to do DSA coding on HackerRank, where I have to go. So those things I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'll come here, and if you see, this is the channel Telesco, which is in English because we are now in English channel. Initially I was talking about Code with Harry also, but this is again in Hindi. So I think it's programming by Mosh. Yeah, programming with Mosh. So he has a playlist on Python. So you can do Python playlist from this channel as well. Okay. Apart from that, now we have to do, like, we have to solve the question again. I'm saying no practice, no selection, because those will teach you the syntax, or those will teach you how to solve the questions, right? But actually question has to be solved by you. Your brain rewiring has to be done. That is where this HackerRank platform will come handy. You can go to prepare. When you log in, you'll go to prepare and see here Python is there. Go to Python and then solve all the questions that you can see here. Like it says so solve hello world problem, Python if else condition. Then slowly you will build the knowledge of programming, how to write code and how to get comfortable with platform as well. And the second one will be gigs for gigs. Here I have to do select array and string, and then also I can select the difficulty, depends on which level I am. If I am having 2 to 4 years of experience, most probably you will be falling in this place. So because you will be switching, then this will be the question that you will have to solve it, right? And once you select the question, I think I can select here. That is where you don't need to use AI tool. You are not going to use AI tool for solution. Here you can see the comments, you can see the submission. Oh, this is your submission. You can see the comment. People have pasted their answer, but you don't have to directly jump to the comments. First try for 1 hour, half an hour, whatever time it takes, just do it, and then later you will have to if you are not able to solve by yourself, then go to comment and then learn from other people, right? Then at last you can go to lead code. So lead code, again here you can see array and string sections are there. You can just select either array or string, and then difficulty level as easy or medium. So that is how you are going to prepare for Python. Okay. Now we'll move to SQL. At last I will be talking about how to, like, how much time you have to spend on each and how to prepare efficiently. Okay. So the next one is SQL. For SQL also we'll have to do two things. First is syntax and second is programming, right? Practice or programming. So first syntax. For syntax you can go to W3 Schools. It's a good resource to prepare basic syntax. Then you can move to Ankit Bansal, or I think Rishabh Misra you cannot do because this is in Hindi again. So you cannot do, you'll have to check another channel. But Ankit Bansal will teach you how to think on a problem. So W3 Schools will teach you about the syntax, how to do it, and Ankit Bansal YouTube channel will teach you how to think on a problem. And when it comes to practice, again we have to go to 3 platform: LeetCode, HackerRank and DataLemure. See, if you ask the preference in these 3 platforms, I would always select LeetCode because LeetCode has more number of test cases to run, and when you write the answer, it may or may not run for one cases, but it can run for another cases. So LeetCode will check your answer on a scale like for all the edge cases, but HackerRank and DataLemure does not do that. So in that case, I always prefer LeetCode first, then only other platform. But of course, if you are a beginner, then you should first start with HackerRank, then only move to LeetCode, and then at last you should do DataLemure. So this should be the flow. Okay. Apart from that, query optimization questions can be asked, or order of execution of SQL, like how when from is getting called, then when select is getting called. Those kind of questions can be asked. So if you do explain about your query, you will get to know, okay, how things are working internally. You don't need to know much. You just have to practice and practice. And this is the most important portion of your entire data engineering preparation journey, because in each and every interview they are going to ask you a SQL question. So this is important and this is relatively easy as well. The difficulty level will be up to any level, right? So either they can ask you easy, you can forget that they are going to ask you easy. They will be mostly asking you medium, and also you can expect some hard level question. So either you are 2 to 4 years of experience or 5+ years of experience, they are not going to show any mercy. They can ask you any kind of questions in SQL. Okay. So this is the thing that you will have to do for 2 to 4 years of experience, and whatever you have to do for 2 to 4 years experience already you will have to do for 5+. Apart from 2 to 4 years of experience, you will have to understand now database internals like sorting, partitioning, indexing, connection pool. Where can I learn all these things? The best channel I would suggest will be Arpit Bhayani. Okay, so he has a YouTube channel. You can go to the channel, you can just search this topic, sorting, partitioning, indexing, and you will get to know a lot of things about database internals. Also, they can ask you about SQL versus NoSQL. So you should prepare for SQL versus NoSQL as well, when to choose SQL, when not to choose SQL. So this kind of question you can expect when it comes to SQL. Okay. Now, the third and most important topic, which again every other interviewer or in interview they will ask you about, is Spark. So on my channel there are both playlists, two playlists are there, Spark Fundamental and Spark Practical. You will have to do both. Either you can do from my channel, but that is again in Hindi, so you'll have to change the audio track and you will have to watch through the auto dub feature which YouTube provides. Or if you don't want to do that, then Prashant Pandey sir Udemy course is one of the best course that you can follow for Spark. So either you can go through mine or you can go through the Prashant Pandey Udemy course, which I am going to talk in a moment. There are two courses that has to be done for Spark. Then local Docker setup. I have talked about how can you set up your Spark on a local through the help of Docker. So you can watch this video, and not you can, you should watch this video. You should set up everything on your local so that you can run your code and see everything in action. And at last, the very famous question, where can I practice a Spark related question? There are literally no platform. I know only one platform that calls a Strata Scratch. There is another platform run by Darsil Parmar. So you will have to explore if his platform is open to all or it is just for his viewer. I think it is for just his viewer, but you can check out his platform as well. Else, the best way to learn Spark practice is through your local setup. Do the local setup, go to the lead code, get the question and solve the question into the Spark, basically Spark kind of coding. One more thing here I would like to talk. The more you are good at Spark, the more you are good at SQL, the more you will be good at Spark. So this is one-on-one mapping. So if you are good at SQL, you will be good at Spark, because the thinking comes from the SQL side itself. We will have to deal with the data, and if let's say I have to filter 4 rows, so either filtering in the SQL or filtering in the Spark, internally things are happening same, right? That I have to remove just 4 rows. So you just have to understand the syntax. If you are good with the syntax, then you will be good with Spark as well. Spark coding. But Spark works in a distributed manner. That is where I am saying again and again, either you will have to do my channel or Prashant Pandey sir Udemy course. Okay. I'll explain about this practice one in little more detailed, because that is where you may get stuck. Okay. And whatever 2 to 4 years of experience people are doing, for 5+ years of experience, it is going to be almost everything same only. So now I will go to I did not show you the SQL one, right? So I'll first go and show you the SQL one. So for the SQL one, sorry, I missed that part. So for SQL one, you can go to this W3 schools, and here you can see every small syntax, like how to write a select query, how to write a where, order by, or, not, in, right? So those kind of syntax you can learn from here. Then you can go to Ankit Bansal channel, and here you can see complex SQL query for interview. Here you can learn few, like you should not watch all the videos and then do hand holding video solving, right? Question solving. You should watch some of the videos, understand how questions are solved, and then you should start solving the question from the first. I would go to HackerRank. So this is the HackerRank SQL one, and here again if you see these questions, these like weather observations questions are from where condition. I think the last time I solved, I think it was where or inquiry, something like that. So all those practice will be done from here. Then the second thing, you should go to the this one, lead code, and here if you see initially if you'll go, you will see this all topics, but we have to go to database, and in database whatever the free question you are seeing here, you have to solve it all. Okay, it can be 20, 50, 30, whatever the question numbers are there, you will have to solve all the question which is present on their platform, because this is the most trusted platform, I would say. Okay, the next one is Datawarehouse. This has to be go at last, because I have seen some of the question directly coming in the interview from this website, so I would suggest to solve the question from this platform as well. So this is how your SQL will be done. Now coming to Spark, because I explained about the Spark as well without explaining about the SQL practice and all. So now come to Spark, and for Spark, this is my playlist. I would this is the complete Spark playlist, or Spark Fundamental or Spark Practical. Basically, I just merged those two playlists into one, and then I made it complete Spark. So you can go here, go to setting, change the audio track to English US, and you will get a dubbed language. Okay, this is one way. Apart from that, if you don't want to do those kind of things like you don't want to hear those dub language, that is why I'm making this Manish Kumar 2.0 channel as well, because even I don't like those auto dubbed voices, right? So you can do it from here. This is Prashant Pandey sir course. This one, first you'll have to take this one, Apache Spark Programming for Beginners, and then the second one is Beyond Basics. So these are the two courses that you'll have to do to understand Spark in great detail. Okay, now coming to practice, that is where the strata scratch I was talking about. But what you can do, you can go to this database section, you can take the question. Let's say I am taking this question, okay, and this question has this input, right, and this is the output there. So whatever the question has to be solved, first solve it here in the SQL. Do we have here? No, we don't have, right? So solve the question in SQL here, and then the same question has to be solved through Spark. So just copy this. Okay, only time when we are going to use ChatGPT is this one. Okay, I'll just ask, I'll give this table, and I'll ask convert this data into Spark data frame. Okay, so because this is kind of nothing logical running here, it's just that the manual work that I had to do and waste some of my times. So rather I would take AI tool help here to not use my critical thinking, just to do some manual work, and that is where AI tool will help. It will create the data frame for us. Now this data frame is ready. Copy this code, open either on Databricks Community Edition or Free Edition, which I am going to talk in a moment, or your local setup, which I just now talked about. I have already shot the video. You can go and watch that video. In that video, you will see how to run your Python script. You can just copy this, and now the main logic that you wrote in SQL, the same logic has to be written in PySpark through the PySpark syntax, not the Spark SQL syntax. That is how you will become good at doing the PySpark. Okay, so now I'll be back here. Now you understand how to practice a Spark and from where to read. Now the next thing, because we are going to use Spark, and so nowadays Databricks is being utilized in almost all the organization here and there. So this is a right time to learn about Databricks. So for Databricks, you can either again buy a course from Prashant Kumar Pandey, or you can buy a course from Ramesh Ratnasamy on Udemy, or you can follow the Ease with Data YouTube channel. So these are the three good resources to learn about Databricks, and Databricks uses Python, SQL and Spark. So since you already know Python, SQL and Spark, you can use Databricks tool with the ease. But Databricks tool has few features which being utilized in the industry at a scale. So that is where we are seeing Unity catalog, we are seeing autoloader, we are seeing data live tables. Maybe you are not understanding these terms, but once you follow this playlist or these Udemy courses, you will understand in depth what all these things and why these things are being utilized in the industry heavily. Okay, and for the Databricks as well, you will have to do same for either 2 to 4 years of experience or 5+ years of experience. So these are the same. Okay. Now again I'll go to this and I'll show you which course I am talking about. So I'm talking about the center one. See here, Databricks, Master Azure Databricks. This is the course from Prashant Pandey sir, and this is the Azure Databricks course from Ramesh Ratnasamy. Again, I'll tell you, just watch one of the just buy one of the course, not both, because in that way you are going to waste time not utilizing your, basically you will waste your time by doing the same thing again and again from different channels or different resources, right? And then ease with data as well, right? So this is ease with data YouTube channel. You can go to playlist and here you can see Databricks 0 to hero. So this is the playlist that you can follow to do your Databricks. If you are not liking the lectures from Prashant Pandey or Ramesh Ratnasamy, or even if you want more better resources in free, then why not on YouTube, right? So this is about Databricks. This is what you have to do. You will understand the 3-4 main component of Databricks and you will be good to go, right? So these are the things that we had to do. Then the next one is cloud, and here I think earlier also I said Azure is the most preferred one if you ask me, because nowadays I'm seeing more or less like a little bit slight is on Azure side. There are more demand on Azure side. Also AWS has a good demand. GCP does not has a good demand. So there are very less demand, less supplies. But these two has a good demand, and Azure is still leading one in the market. So and also for AWS, I don't know a good resource. So if anyone knows about AWS good resource in terms of data engineering, AWS has a lot of resources. Like when it comes to I used to watch Technical Guptku, but that is not related to data engineering field. So I want someone to talk about who is explaining everything in detail about EMR or Glue or Redshift, right? Lambda is still fine, right? RDS. So if he or if the channel is talking about this tech stack, then I would say yeah, that should be the channel, or that should be the course which we should follow. But I have not come across any for it. But in Azure there are abundant of resource available on YouTube as well as in the Udemy, right? So here for Azure I have written here down see Ramesh Ratnasamy or Wafa Studies or Ans Lamba. Ramesh Ratnasamy, just now I showed you about the Databricks. He also has the courses for Azure Data Factory. So this one, right? Apart from that, Wafa Studies has a YouTube channel. On his YouTube channel, you can get all the Azure related stuffs like Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, and all the scenario based questions. So you can follow his channel as well if you like his way of teaching, right? Ans Lamba is another good channel. It's also a YouTube channel which you can follow. For project, of course, you should follow this Ans Lamba channel. But for theory, I think he has not much about the theory part, but I think you will have to check. But these are the 3 good or best resources I would say available on the internet for Azure resources. AWS again I don't know, and GCP I would say to skip it. Okay, if you are learning from scratch, if you are already into GCP, then just learn about data flow, data proc, and BigQuery and Airflow. These are the 4 things that would be required. Spanner, yeah, of course, simple SQL kind of database is there, but a Spanner is way more than that. But I'm not going to talk about those things in detail. But here you understand the crux of what I'm trying to say here, right? For the cloud. So this is the Wafa Studies channel which you can follow. Like, see, Azure Data Factory, real-time question, Azure Data Factory videos, Azure Databricks videos. So this is one of the good resource that you can follow on YouTube channel. And what also about Ans Lamba, right? So this is Ans Lamba channel. On his channel, you can find many good project as well as a few theory questions, I believe. So this is one of the channel you should go through if you are following the Azure resources. Again, for AWS, I'm relying on you guys. You tell me where can we learn more about the AWS resources, especially in terms of data engineering. Next comes to project. Again, on my channel, project is in Hindi, because I used to shoot in Hindi, but that is of a pure coding and production grade coding style. So if you can use with the auto dub feature, so you should watch this project video as well to understand how codes are written in real time, how big code base can be, how everything can be handled through code, because there is no tool involved. So you'll get a lot of hands-on experience in terms of coding. So I would still suggest to go through my channel, and the channel is MANISH KUMAR. Okay, anyway, I'm going to give you the link as well. Then Ans Lamba for Azure, Darsil Parmar for AWS and Azure both. So he has AWS courses like project as well, and Azure projects as well. So you can follow him. Also Ramesh Retnasamy has the project based learning, so you can follow him as well. Apart from that, you can explore 1 or 2 more creators. Here I want you to follow different creators, because if you follow different creators, you will come to know different flavor of writing doing a project in real time. Because what I have seen in only few industry, like in few organization which I have worked, right, Ans has seen different way of using the same tools in different organizations. So that's why I always suggest, when it comes to project, you should follow few more creators, so that you can understand more about how things are being done in different organizations. Everyone has a different perspective. Now this part is done about the project, and on my channel it's DE complete project 1. This is the playlist name. Okay, DE complete project 1. Now coming to warehousing. Now warehousing does not has a good resource on YouTube. So either you will have to follow Udemy, or you can directly follow the book which is Data Warehouse Toolkit by Kimball. But before going there, I'll talk in terms of 2 to 4 years and 5 years, because everyone has a different expectation when it comes to warehousing. So you can follow my channel. Again, you'll have to convert, or you can follow the Udemy courses. Okay, on Udemy, I think I have watched one course. I'll have to find it. I'll add the link. But for now, you can consider what all things will be asked to you when you have 2 to 4 years of experience. You'll be asked fact and dimension. What is fact? What is dimension? What is normalization, denormalization? What is schema like star schema or snowflake schema? What is SCD? How SCD works? So those kind of questions you can expect when you have 2 to 4 years of experience. When you have 5 plus years of experience, then you will have to go through the complete playlist of mine, or the complete courses from Udemy, which I am going to give you the link in description. Or you can follow the Data Warehouse Toolkit by Kimball. This is the book which is used by almost everyone. If you are a data modeler, if you are a senior data modeler, or if you are an architect and you want to build something, understand something, Data Warehouse Toolkit is considered as a Bible. So you can consider this book is very well organized and detailed for data warehousing or dimensional modeling. So I would say, if you have a time, then you can go through this, else you can go through the Udemy courses. And so these are the theoretical part. But when it comes to writing the code or storing the data. So that is where either we use Snowflake, we use BigQuery, or we use Redshift. Also Synapse is there, but most of the time I have not seen that Synapse is getting much more attention in Azure platform. So these are the few platforms that are being utilized. So with Azure, people use Snowflake. Okay, and Snowflake and Databricks, these are the two softwares which can run on any cloud. So these are cloud independent. And with AWS, I have seen 50-50%, like no, not 50, 70-30. So Redshift is being utilized a lot. Plus, in some organization, I have used Snowflake. I have seen Snowflake being utilized rather than Redshift. So these are few tools and tech stack that has to courses that has to be followed. I don't know, I'm not getting course right now for data warehouse modeling, but I'll check if I have some link. Okay, so let's not waste time here. Now I'll come to CI/CD. So for CI/CD, different organization uses in a different way. Like someone use GitHub plus Actions, some use GitHub plus Jenkins, someone use Azure DevOps. And Azure DevOps is an independent tool, so don't get confused with Azure and Azure DevOps. Okay, so for Azure DevOps, Ramesh Ratnasamy has a detailed video on his one of the course. So if you take his course, right, I was talking about his course. So if you take if you take his course on Azure Data Factory, even if you are not doing from Azure Data Factory from him, you can see continuous integration and continuous deployment section is there, which is 2.5 hour long. So you can watch this video to understand how Azure DevOps are being utilized in the industry. And I would suggest, if you have not used any CI/CD tool, then Azure DevOps should be your go-to for now. Okay, you can skip GitHub or GitHub plus Jenkins, but since you will have to do everything or integrate or doing versioning of your code through Git, so any 30 to 40 minute of videos, not 3 hour or 4 hour long, 30 to 40 minute videos on YouTube will help you to understand. So in Git, we mostly use Git commit, Git push, Git pull. These are the things most of the time we are utilizing. Some of the time when we are working on the same project, so we get merge conflict or how to raise pull requests. So there are few things which I think can be discussed in less than 1 hour. So any 1 hour video will be more than sufficient, or if you already know Git, then you are already good. Okay, so these are the things about CI/CD. This is not going to take much of your time. Okay, now orchestration. So for orchestration, you can follow any tools that you have been already utilizing. If you are not utilizing any of the orchestration tool, because initially we used to use Autosys, which is I don't think it is being utilized now. Control M is also one of the tool I have not used. I have used Airflow extensively, and in the market right now Airflow is leading. So if you want to follow Airflow, then you can follow my channel, this channel itself, and or you can follow Coder 2J, or you can follow Mark Limberty. So there are, like, these are 3 good resources you can follow. My channel on YouTube, Coder 2J is also on YouTube, Mark Limberty is on Udemy. So if you go to Udemy, you can find his course very easily. Okay, if you are already using ADF and workflow, which most of you will be using, because if you are choosing Azure as a cloud, so Azure has ADF and workflow, Databricks workflow, to manage or orchestrate our tasks. So in that case, I would suggest not to use Airflow. If you want to widen your tech stack, then of course you can use Airflow, but ADF and workflow can do your tasks. So rather, don't waste your time here and use ADF plus workflow to do the orchestration. In AWS, Lambda plus a step function are used. So this is AWS specific. Here also you should not waste much of your time. Then it comes to streaming. So for streaming, I already said, if you are having less than 4 years of experience, 2 to 4 year range, then you should avoid it, because there are a lot of things, lot of complexity will come into the picture. Like Kafka, Kinesis, Event Hub or PubSub, these 4 are the same thing. It's just that they are on a different platform. Okay, Kafka does not comes alone. Kafka comes with a Spark streaming, because Kafka is the one which is storing the data in real time, but something has to, like, the data has to be processed also. That is where Spark streaming, Flink or Dataflow is getting utilized in the industry right now to deal with the streaming. Ease with Data again is the best channel to go ahead with Spark streaming. Also, you can follow Prashant Pandey streaming course if you really want. Okay, so these are the resources for streaming. I'm not going into detail about streaming because that will be not mostly required. For 5+ years of experience, yes, you will definitely require, but 2 to 4 you can avoid it. Then system design, again I'm going to say that I have already talked about in one of my video which is 50-minute long. I'll add the link in this description. So this is how everything has to be done. Like, now you understand what has to be done, where it has to be done, and how much it has to be done, right? For 2 to 4 years experience and 5+ years of experience. Now comes the best part, is how to allocate the time and how much time I have to allocate to each the resources. Before going there, right, how to, yeah, so before going there, first question should come in your mind: how many hours you will have to dedicate each day to upskill or learn this tech stack. So I would say 2 to 3 hours daily would be more than sufficient to complete it in 6 months. It doesn't mean that if you are doing 10 hours or 15 hours, then you can do it in a month. That is not going to happen, because to collect all those information within short span of time is really difficult, because you are going to learn a lot of things, but keeping those all things in mind in a month will be I don't think it will be possible to remember all those things. So that's why do like 2 to 3 hours with your job will be suffice. Okay, and most of the time I'm thinking, since you are switching it, so you will be falling in this range itself. And you don't need to read all the 7 days a week, right, that every day I have to do, but at least try to be consistent with 5 days a week. That 5 days, 2 to 3 hours I'll give, and on weekend I can extend a little bit, right? So this is how, if you do, you can complete it in 6 months. Now what to follow first, what to follow last, and how to do it, right? So first I'll go, so this is the plan for first 2 months, right? For the first 2 months is going to be the most challenging one, and this is where 90% of the people will leave. Okay, I'm claiming this high number because 90% of the people won't do it after this point. Within first 2 months they will leave it, because in first 2 months you will have to do Python and SQL, and don't leave Python for the last, because every time I say no coding, no data engineering. Again, if you want to be a data engineer, you will have to do coding. By any means you will have to do coding. Okay, so Python and SQL you will dedicate, because you are going to dedicate 2 to 3 hours daily, right? So what you have to do, you have to go through the syntax first for first 15 to 20 days. So initial 15 to 20 days you are focusing mostly on syntax, understanding how loop works, how function works, how data structure in Python works. So those things you are going to learn, right? And then after 15 to 20 days you should start solving question from HackerRank. First initially solve at least 30 to 40 question from HackerRank of easy level or somewhat on a medium level, not hard level. Hard level is not required at all. Okay, and the question will be from array and string. So this is what you have to do, and once you are good with HackerRank, then only move to gigs for gigs after some point in time. So if you are solving 15 to 20 days here and 30 days, 30 question and one question daily, okay, not more than one, not less than one question daily. So mostly by doing this you will be utilizing complete 2 months. In 2 months you will be good with Python, like you will have a hold of Python syntax and a little bit of critical thinking, because this Python requires brain rewiring. We have to do so here it's a brain rewiring, not just Python. SQL is also required to do a brain rewiring, thinking in terms of data or thinking in terms of coding, right? Then it comes to SQL, because you are doing Python one question daily. Also SQL also will run parallelly. This two has to run in parallel. So Python syntax and SQL syntax, right? Only two technology you will be doing for first 2 months. Syntax, again this is going to take 15 days, because this is a little bit of easier side, so you will have to do 15 days. And then solve 50 question rather than 30 questions, solve 50 question of hacker rank, almost all the question. So try to get a gold badge here in first 2 months. Don't get into rush. It can go beyond 2 months, but don't get into rush to just get gold badge or silver badge, which they provide. Initially they used to, but I don't know nowadays they are providing or not. It's just for a little bit of motivation. Okay, so this is how you will be doing Python and SQL. Now after 2 months, you are not going to stop. Don't stop Python. Okay, it has to be done one question daily. Okay, or some extra topics which you have not done it. So if you have not done some topics, then you can do that, or one question daily, but it has to be there with you for the all 6 months. Okay, then only you will be having a good hold of Python. You cannot just become Python developer in a month or in 15 days or in 2 months, right? Because you are starting from scratch, you are a little bit scared of Python also. So it should be going with your flow. And also when you are solving the Python, it can be the case that you are trying to remember some of that syntax and you are forgetting it, or you are trying to remember some of the logics, you are forgetting it. So that is where, if you are if you keep forgetting, you can revise the same question again. Okay, so either you are solving the new question or you are solving the existing question, but you are not leaving this one. Okay, so 2 months is done, and one more task is remaining, that every month you will have to do Python. Now after 2 months, you will start Spark, okay, and Cloud. So these two will run now parallel for next 2 months. So 2 months to 4 months, this is going to be the case here. Spark you will do, let's say you are doing from Udemy, right? Maybe you are not liking my course, or you are not liking the Autodoc feature, so you are doing from Udemy. I'm considering it for now. Okay, it will take good amount of time, maybe 3 weeks, or even more than that, maybe 4 weeks. So half of the month, half of the time, not month, complete month, or half of your time is gone to learn about the internals of Spark, right? But now you have remaining 4 weeks. These 4 weeks will come handy. Wait for a moment. At the same time, you will be doing Cloud, and in Cloud, first you will start with ADF, and then you will start with Databricks after doing the ADF. And that is how it is. Let's say it is taking 1 month, right? So another month, complete month, is available for you to dedicate on the Databricks. So this is how your Databricks and ADF will be completed. If you do slowly, you will remember the things, and you should make notes on each and every topics. Okay, now this 4 weeks is remaining, because you are just doing Cloud, but now Spark is done after 1 month, right? So that is where you should solve again the SQL question, but this time SQL question from lead code. Okay, so you are solving the lead code SQL question, and the same question is being solved through the Spark or PySpark syntax. Okay, because as I told you earlier, the more you will be good at SQL, the more you will be good with Spark, at least coding side. So this is how your 2 to 4 month will look like. And first 2 month is done, then 2 to 4 month is done. Your Python is not stopped. Now SQL was stopped for a month, right? But now it has again started from where we had left, right? And here and there you will be solving some 1 or 2 questions, but you have already solved this 50 questions, so you are not going to forget the syntax now. Now after 4 months, one entire month, okay, one entire month for project. Make uh, two major and two minor project. Okay, make two major and two minor. So for major, like it should be a good depth course, like the one which I have uploaded on my channel, so that project. And also I think Ansalamba one. And for Darsil Parmar one, I think one is a Spotify analysis or F1 racing, so those kind of simple project. So two major and two minor. Major one is going to take a little bit of time, but still it is a guided one, so I would say 1 week for my project, or even 1 to 1.5 week to do my project. The same will go for 1 to 1.5 week for the another big project. And then in last 1 week you can build one project. While building project, you will have to dedicate a little more time, because building project is not that easy that you can do it in 2 hours. Sometimes if you will get stuck in the error, then it can take a lot of time. And here also you can use AI tools, okay, only here. And for transforming the data frame, here you can use AI tools when you get stuck with the error, okay, not with logical thinking, but if you are getting stuck with the error, like environment is not set up correctly or something like that, you can use AI tools here. So this is how your entire 1 month will go for project. But you should not forget that your Python coding is still going on, and not just Python, now your PySpark is also going on, okay. So these two also has to be parallelly going on, otherwise you will forget everything. Now the last month, right, we are at last month now. And in last month, what all things has to be done? Data warehousing, then CI/CD, and then orchestration, right? These are the three things has to be done. So data warehousing, I would consider 1 week. If you are going through the Udemy course or my channel, 1 week will be sufficient. CI/CD again, max to max 1 week, right? Orchestration 1 week. I would not even say 1 week, because you already know ADF and Databricks workflow and then ADF trigger. So you are already good, but still I am giving you a leniency here, that in last 1 month you will be managing your time. Also, now understand, you already know Python, right? Till the time after 6 months you already know Python, you don't need revision now, because you have been already doing revision, right? SQL, you don't need revision, because you have been already doing either with SQL or with PySpark. PySpark, yes, you would need revision. So here now your notes will come handy in last 1 week. Trust me, in a day or two you can remember all the things that you had written on in your notebook, right? So these things, and the cloud one, because these are the four fundamental things that we are focusing on. See, these three are just taking 3 weeks, even less than that, right? So the main thing are here. So cloud one, again, it is going to be in your notes, and it is not going to take 1 week, right? So by this way, in a 6 to 6.5 month, you will have all the things ready with the revision, without doing much, uh, only focus on revision, right? So this is how in 6 to 6.5 month you will get prepared for data engineering role with the revision and everything. Now the last piece of puzzle, right? Selection or rejection, right? Because now we'll start giving the interview. So initially, for few interviews, like 3 to 4 interviews, I would consider that you can get rejected. but you should not worry about that, because you are understanding the way interviewer questions are being asked. So here you will understand like what all questions are being asked. Mostly will be from project side or scenario side, because in tech stack now no one can question you. You have been already doing a lot of things. Project side, yes, they will ask you how much data you dealt with, where you kept the data, how data was flowing. So those kind of questions will be a little bit of intimidating at starting, but once you give 3 to 4 interviews, you will get used to it, and now you will have a better answer. Now after, like, the max rejection I have heard is 8 rejection. After that he started getting selected and just got multiple offer, like 3 to 4 offers. So this is the highest number of rejection I have known after the guidance that I gave to people on TopMate, mostly on TopMate. That is from where I got to know about all this story, right? Then this one, and what not to follow, because now you are prone to few things. So you should not follow LinkedIn. Yeah, you should not follow LinkedIn influencer, right? If you see, they are just commenting like thanks for sharing. Stay away from these people, right? If someone is writing in the comment section thanks for sharing, they are not here for thanks for sharing, they are here for engagement farming. Okay, they are just trying to sell some kind of PDF notebook, right? They will be selling these kind of things. I think some of the people will be using my content, like I have interview question and answer playlist. You can follow that on my second channel, interview question and answer playlist. They must be copying some of the content from here and just selling for 1,000, 1,500, and they are doing these things. Thanks for sharing wala part, right? They also, if you see the content like I will hire you if you answer this 20 question, right? Or uh, or people like uh, follow this follow this course. Mostly course will be good, but they are promoting something. Follow this course or influencer, right? So if they are doing this kind of things, and mostly these contents will be copy paste. So one day one guy will come, another day another guy will come. They will give you some question. Some people will come, okay, I'm giving you this question was asked in PwC, this question was asked. Read the question but don't follow them, okay? Because they are just doing engagement farming. They are doing nothing. They will just divert you to some course. They will divert your time. They will waste your time. They will divert you to Telegram, WhatsApp and whatnot. So just ignore them or unfollow them, remove them from your feed. Then you are going to save a lot of time and you will thanks me later. Okay, I also get a lot of people saying that I got selected, and almost every week I get 1 to 2 messages that I got selected, but I never post any of the screenshot to get the views or something, because I'm not here for views, right? I'm here to help you. If I'm not helping you, I'm not going to make a videos. So I'm pretty simple here. Either I will help you or I will not shoot a video, or I will not edit, I will not post anything. If I post, let's say simple, consider this. If I post that video or post that screenshot, that this guy helped, my courses helped me, right? You already know about my course. Even if you don't know, whenever that will be required, you will come to know on my channel. Oh, Manish Kumar is also there, right? So I don't need to do all those things. I'm not here to sell the course. I'm not here to do any kind of engagement farming. I'm not here to do anything. I'm just here to help. I'm trying to help. I'm not just here to help. I'm trying to help. If even if I can help one guy or one people, I consider myself that I'm not just helping a person, I'm helping the entire family. And that is what my thinking is, right? Sometimes you guys, I also asked how can I share this um, free courses on YouTube, which is better than the paid courses. So those are my thinking. So already videos are long, and you know whom to stay away with, what not to study as well. So videos are already long. I'll take a leave now. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.